Well, the background of our film, Earth Change, really is about what happened, how would nature respond to this extraordinary moment, when we started a moment, but as it turned out to be a year, when humanity was forced for all sorts of reasons to take this heavy tread that we have on the Earth, take the weight off, tread more lightly on the planet. And we had no idea, of course, what would happen, but we suspected animals would respond in interesting ways, and so it proved to be. And we cast our web as widely as we could around the world and tried to report on nature's response over that 9 months or so.
And with my film, Here We Are, that began life as a book that was written for my son when he was first born, just about really the very simple basic principles of what it is to be a human being alive on the planet in the 21st century, because it occurred to me whenever we brought him home from the hospital when he was 2 days old, that he knew absolutely nothing. And it was going to be up to us as parents to teach him every single thing, and how overwhelming that felt. And so beginning with the basic steps, it was very reassuring, and just, how simple the most important core basic values of being alive today are. And then with the film, we work with Studio AKA, who weaved in a narrative of this fictional family. It's a day in their life where kind of an overbearing 10-year-old or 7-year-old boy who is not that interested in the outside world goes into a museum and discovers this sort of out of service exhibit that he had found a token for, manages to make it work, and has this beautiful interaction with the planet at a very sort of rudimentary but overview perspective that really allows him in and helps him to ask some of these much bigger questions, and just the emotional impact that has on him.
I think what I hope they take away is a number of things, actually. On one level, I think one of the reasons why we decided to make this was there was this moment right at the beginning of the lockdown where people suddenly discovered that, well, there's a strange sound of silence around, and what's that? I can hear birds song, and this strange thing that animals are being reported on the news coming out of the kind of the woodwork all over the place. So we thought to ourselves, well, this is one of the reasons why we did this. Well, what's really going on here? And part of what was going on was people were saying, I'm really loving this. I'm enjoying this reconnection, this seeing the natural world and experiencing it a bit more. So one of the things I hope that this film does is it reminds people of that moment they felt right at the beginning, where they suddenly rediscovered nature. And I think that comes full circle to the end, where what we're really trying to do is make people think a little bit about how we do impact the natural world. Every action we take, no matter how little we may think we're impacting nature, it's significant. And actually, many of us want to do something to help, but it's a bit overwhelming. But actually, it shows that there are perhaps some quite relatively small things you can do, which actually can have quite positive impact. And together, you bring all those together, and it just, I think, reveals how intimately connected we are with nature. Because after all, we are really historically, in terms of our natural history, part of the natural world. And it's just a reminder of that.
I agree with absolutely everything that Mike just says. But if you ask me what the core takeaway from the film is, at this point, I was trying to, I suppose, write this letter to my son. And what I wanted for him mostly, and which I think really is the major fuel behind the film, and it can be summed up by one page in the book, which is that even though every single one of us, we play the starring role in the film of our lives, it's very important to remember that there are many other people on this planet, over 7.5 billion. And that is a lot, but there is technically enough for everyone if we all share a little bit. So the most important thing is to be kind.